Welcome to the Green Street Podcast. I'm Gabriel Kinney. This is my beautiful wife, Marissa Kinney.
Hi.
This is episode 1.1. This is like a continuation of like episode 1. We did one earlier, just me and Alex. That was like the trial run. It was fun because it was so horrible. No, it wasn't horrible, but like, you know what I mean? Like the technical difficult, like we had see how these, it just looked weird.
Oh, because it doesn't look like you're recording anything
yeah, it
on
didn't. And so we were, for the first 10 minutes,
sitting there.
we were just worried about nothing. Yeah.
Didn't even think to stop and be like, hey, let's go back over that.
Yeah, no. I don't know. What do you want to talk about? Let's talk about where we just came from.
Universal.
Yeah, we just came from Universal Studios.
Hollywood, but you know, it's closer to home, easier, especially with the kids and everything.
Yeah, way less. It's smaller, obviously, than Disneyland.
Yeah.
And then that's what I'm going to be comparing it to like this whole time. Because that's what I was comparing it to the whole time.
Well, and it's not like it's something that you can compare to Six Flags, because Six Flags is more roller coaster based, whereas Universal and Disneyland were more attractions and character based.
Mm-hmm.
So, but Universal.
Disneyland is still hella cool, but you need like more than a day to go and see everything. And Universal, you can do everything in a day. Like even with the kids, we just didn't know it was closing early because it's October. And actually, I'm going to put these lights on. Hold on. Put this fire in the background.
Cut. Or pause. Ew. Can you see it?
No,
Can you
probably
see the
not.
spooky
I'm just
lava
going to turn
light?
it off. This is a stupid idea.
If you could see it, it's some spooky light.
It would be sick.
Right.
Back on topic. This is what I mean about going off topic. So it's Halloween season. It's October. So it wasn't decorated like crazily with like Disneyland goes all out for their seasons.
Yeah.
It wasn't like that.
Halloween,
like Hello
Christmas.
Kitty was in like a Dracula costume or something like that, and it was cute. But the kids were like, "Fuck Hello Kitty," pretty much. They were like, no. Jackson wanted to talk to her, but then I was like, yeah, he just said I think he just got excited because it wasn't somebody scary.
Yeah, that, and it was the first real character they'd seen, but because when they seen Donkey, like that was a whole different.
When I seen Donkey and I seen him talking, and I realized it wasn't like somebody pushing buttons and he was just out there like an animatronic thing.
Yeah,
it was somebody behind like a life-size donkey, not like a little donkey, like a real fucking donkey you would see. That's what I was like, damn. And
it's almost like when they like, but it's the same basis as like Disneyland when they did the cars, like for Mater and Lightning McQueen, when you get to meet them.
Oh yeah.
They have I think they have a person in there. They might have a person in there.
Or a camera and
but
somebody's behind.
That's more
with a mic. But that's how it was. They were talking to Donkey for a while.
So
it was
cool.
sick.
They didn't even see Jackson.
Yeah, but you can definitely do Universal in a day, which is like really cool as compared to Disneyland. Like,
there was just so much more detail.
Yeah, that's what I was explaining to Alex. I was like, dude, while you're waiting in line, it's a part of the ride pretty much.
Yeah.
It's way better than Disneyland's line waiting. Like I was telling him when we went into Transformers, they have this room where you just it's the shard, and it's like a roundabout that goes around the shard, and it's like encased in this big like bulletproof like glass, and you hear it like permeating this fucking the gamma and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and I was
it feels like you're on base,
dude. I got excited because it looks like 100% legit. Like you can push buttons and stuff, and it's like. Yeah, the whole thing looks like an army base while you're waiting in line. It was pushing buttons, and they were stopping and starting like sirens and in the whole hallway, and the Harry Potter. Like you tell them, because this is why we went to Hogsmeade. It was sick as fuck.
Walking into Hogsmeade, it was just about every dream, because I think the only thing that I personally noticed was that obviously there was no Shrieking Shack there. I think I was a little disappointed.
Yeah, I totally know what that is.
Yeah, it's the house where
I can't read.
it's in the movie.
It's in the movie.
Yeah, it's just that that house where
I still
Sirius
can't read.
Black and yeah, we know you're stupid, okay, but that's not.
It's the house. Well, okay, sorry, I don't mean to get you off track.
It's the house where Lupin and Sirius Black and Harry and Snape and they're all down there, and that's where they find Peter Pettigrew.
Okay,
that
yeah.
house. So, but it's attached to the Whomping Willow, and like, how do you bring that in? So realistically, like, there was no way for them to bring that, but the Hagrid's hut and all the little shops like Honeydukes and Zonko's and the Owl Post and Ollivanders, like, it was so cool. My goddaughter got chosen as the chosen one for
There's a line.
trip.
There's a big line to Ollivanders is like a show, and you wait. Yeah. It's like a miniature show, like not a show. What would you call it?
It's an interactive kind of
it's an interactive piece to get into Ollivanders.
Like that moment where Harry gets his wand, they pick somebody out of the crowd to be like that, and it was just so cool to watch, especially because it was my goddaughter. Like she got picked, and you know that
she loves Harry Potter
when
also.
When you get the wand, and it's like, or you watch Harry get the
and
wand,
the lights
and it's like,
glow, and the things come out of nowhere, and then they have these things where you point the wands and everything moves, and it's like they're doing real magic. Her face was priceless, dude.
Like, it was great. She was
like, I'm breaking shit in here.
She thought it was real. But, like, that's what's so great about it is, like, it's not as obvious. I think that goes back to the detail. Like, you really couldn't tell. It would look legit, like, legit magical.
Everything was, it looked 100% like the movie. I'm pretty sure like it looked like it was described in the book.
Yeah,
it was legit, dude. No, like the castle was huge. I just wish you can go in the castle. Like it was huge, dude.
But I totally wasn't disappointed because the ride itself, the Forbidden Journey, like you get to walk into the castle, so you can see it from the outside how big. Like realistically, it looks on the outside in that detail, and you get to go in and like see pieces like.
Yeah, it almost is like you're walking in the castle, except like the castle is like way at the top of the mountain, and you're just walking like through the bottom. Like obviously they're not gonna. It's a liability issue to have people at the top of the castle because it's like 200 or 300 feet in the air. But when you're walking through the castle, you see all there's big dark hallways, and there's statues that are like lit up all hella crazy, and the statues are badass. Like there's a room where Harry, Ron, and Hermione are talking to you, and it's a classroom, and shit's moving and stuff, and
the pictures.
Yeah, the pictures. There's a couple rooms where it's just like tall, like 50 feet, and it's
walls covered
in pictures, and the pictures are talking to you and to everybody else.
It's identical to what you would expect. Like, of course, it's not going to be, big rooms filled with those pictures, but they give you just a taste of it, and get to see like what it is basically that you would feel in the castle, moving pictures, walking along, seeing Dumbledore's seeing Dumbledore's office, the classroom, and it was just really interactive and super cool. And this, meanwhile, was all while waiting in line. This wasn't even part of the ride. This was best parts, just walking in.
Sorry, the best parts were like they have what did they call it, a kid swap, right, dude? They have this swap. The child swap where you get in line as a family, and I'm pretty sure it's faster than the regular line too. Like regular line is to the right, and you and your family go on the left. And Jackson, our youngest, he's too small to get on pretty much every fucking ride.
Kenzie was actually too small for that ride too.
Yeah, she was too. So our two little ones were too small, and so we go on the left side with the family, and we get to the front of the line, and they put you in a waiting room, which is awesome. They're playing Harry Potter or whatever movie. I'm pretty sure they're playing, Transformers and the Transformers ride.
Yeah.
And then she goes on the ride with the bigger kid, and then she gets off. Yeah. And then I go to the front of the line with the bigger kid, and she waits with them. And then I'm pretty sure we could have did it like 4 times.
Yeah, we totally could have got away with it.
Like if they wanted to stay and watch Harry Potter. Yeah, we could have just
Jackson had to pee though, so we had to leave. Yeah. Otherwise, I probably would have tried to get on again.
I'm pretty sure he peed a little bit on the Transformers ride. That ride
Oh
was
yeah.
legit.
I turned around
Poor
and
boy.
he was just like
He's like
this.
closing his eyes, like trying to cover these 3D glasses that are bigger than his hands. Poor kid. Like he's trying to block his face, but he physically can't. He has to endure it.
Yeah. Well, and you know what's funny?
I was like, just take the
We're sitting
glasses
up
off,
front.
buddy. Take them off.
He's like, I
I was
don't
like,
get it.
we're safe. Because it's
Kenzie
less
was
scary
sitting up
without. It's
front.
less scary without the glasses. It just looks
Is
like a
it?
TV screen. Yeah, I took them off.
Oh.
I think his fell off, and then I was like, just take them off. It's less scary. But
So
it
they
got pretty
fell off
legit,
and he
dude.
put him back on and was covering his eyes again.
Yeah, it was pretty legit though, man. It actually felt like we were flying.
Kenzie started crying at the end.
Yeah,
We were sitting
surprising.
up front, like, and she's never really scared of rides.
Check out this Nemo cup though.
Oh, speaking of fish, go to the Jurassic Park area because it was a water ride. That Jurassic Park, that 85-foot drop.
Speaking of fish,
Oh my gosh.
dinosaurs.
You know why? Because I seen this meme that was talking about fish like 85 million years ago. It's like it was some dude jumping all the way out of a pool, like just and walking. I don't know how to explain it. It was just like so
Hilarious. Okay, get back to your point on the dinosaurs.
Oh, I was just talking about the ride. Like, it was super cool. It had all the animatronics, but
I couldn't get on it because I can't
What?
get this fucking club wet over here.
sounds like a personal problem. Anyway,
Yeah.
85-foot drop into the river. That was pretty scary. Actually, I wasn't prepared for that. That's probably my biggest, like, river.
Was it dark before you dropped? Like you couldn't see where you're going? That's the best.
Yeah, it was a little dark, but the biggest thing is that there's a big T-Rex over your head. Like, Mia screamed, screamed bloody murder because she thought that shit was swinging at us. And I was like, it's okay, Mia. And then just boom, and you drop down.
I'd have been like, oh my God! Freak her out more.
She was just holding on. She was already, holding my hand at that point, because, the T-Rex escaped, and she's just, freaking out.
Speaking of hand, you want to know what happened to my hand?